Success isn't just about starting. It's about knowing when to move on. Whether it's a business, a career, or even a personal goal, clinging to something just because it once worked can be the very thing that holds you back. The sunk cost trap. Imagine you're riding a horse on a long journey. The horse has carried you for miles, but now it's limping, exhausted, and struggling to move forward. Do you push it further out of loyalty, or do you find a stronger, faster horse to complete the journey? Many people refuse to make that decision. They stick with a failing business, a stagnant career, or a dying industry simply because they've invested too much to walk away. This is called the sunk cost fallacy. The idea that past effort justifies future commitment, even when the path ahead is clearly failing. Real-world example. Blockbuster versus Netflix. Take Blockbuster, for example. At its peak, it dominated the movie rental industry. But when streaming technology emerged, Blockbuster refused to pivot. Leadership was convinced that physical stores were their horse, and that customers would keep renting DVDs. Meanwhile, Netflix saw the shift, adapted, and took over the industry. Blockbuster eventually collapsed, while Netflix became a billion-dollar empire. The lesson? When the environment changes, you have to change with it, or get left behind. When growth becomes a cage. Sometimes, the problem isn't a failing venture, but a misalignment with your personal goals. Maybe your business is doing well, but it demands more time, energy, and risk than you're willing to give. For example, an entrepreneur who built a successful e-commerce brand might realize that scaling further requires warehouses, more employees, and logistical headaches. If their goal was financial freedom and flexibility, not managing a complex operation, it might be time to sell and start something new. Success isn't about endlessly climbing higher. It's about ensuring that where you're going still aligns with what you want. How to know. When it's time for a new horse, your industry is changing faster than you can adapt. If innovation is disrupting your space, and you're struggling to keep up, it might be a sign to exit before it's too late. You've outgrown your current path. If your venture no longer excites you or aligns with your long-term vision, forcing it may do more harm than good. The effort-to-reward ratio is no longer worth it. If keeping something alive requires massive effort with diminishing returns, it's worth reconsidering. A better opportunity exists. If you see a stronger, faster horse that aligns with your future goals, don't be afraid to switch. Closing one chapter to open another. Moving on isn't failure. It's strategy. The most successful people don't just know how to build. They know when to pivot. They understand that sticking with the past at the expense of the future is the real loss. So, the next time you find yourself riding a tired horse, ask yourself, is this still the best way forward? Or is it time for a new ride?